All right, so welcome to the New Leaf Exams YouTube channel. So on our channel, we're going to offer a lot of videos where we help you with study habits, study tips, how to pass your life and health insurance license exam. So aside from this video, we just started this channel, so we're going to go ahead and continue to make a bunch of videos, again, to give you tips and tricks and information on how to pass your license exam. So in this very first video, we're just going to kind of get into some general study habits and tips that do apply to the life and health insurance license exam. All right. So if you're not familiar with New Leaf Exams, we do offer life and health insurance study courses that are meant to help you pass their courses to help you pass your license exam. All right. So I'm going to show you a little bit more about that, in another video, maybe a little bit at the end of all these slides that we're about to go through for this first video. Also, at the end of these slides that we're going to go through, a lot of what I'm reading right here that you're going to see is from a page that's on our website. Okay, so some of these are also some feedback that we got from students. Some of this is from our own experience. So hopefully this helps you, give you some tips and some tricks to help you pass your life and health insurance license exam. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started. And if you have any questions, go ahead and post them in the comments below. Just to be perfectly clear and transparent, we don't check those comments every single day. We're going to come back to the YouTube channel, probably check them once or twice a week. If you have any urgent questions, go to our website, which is going to be newleafexams.com. And there's a contact button that's on the website. Hit that contact button and you can hit us up directly if it's more urgent, because that stuff we monitor daily, all day. Even on the weekend. So if it's something a little more urgent, go ahead and just go to our website and contact us. All right. So let's go ahead and get started on this one. We're going to start talking about some study habits and tips that are going to help you pass your insurance license exam. All right. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it. So on this very first slide here, the very first piece of advice that I'm going to give you is within the course. In our course, and it's probably true for most courses, is you want to take any practice quizzes or exams over and over and over again. All right. You have to get used to seeing those questions, answering those questions, because the exam obviously is just going to be a lot of questions. Usually the life and health exam in most states is about 150 questions. The final exam within our course is going to mimic that. All right, so it's a lot of questions. So again, take them over and over and over again, because that is going to be very, very good practice for you. All right. Our quizzes and exams, they randomize and they pull from a bucket of 600 plus questions. What that means is that if you have a quiz, let's say for an example, it's 30 questions. If you take that same quiz over and over again, you're going to start to see some different questions. All right. So that's another reason why you want to take these quizzes and exams over and over and over again, so that you do see different questions. All right. There are a ton of questions out there. Now, the providers, the state exam license, the license exam providers within each state, they do the same thing. They randomize they have hundreds of questions as well. They randomize them. If you were to take that same exam over and over again, you're going to see different questions. And that's why we do the same thing, is not just to mimic them, but we want you to take the practice quizzes and exams over and over and over again, so that you are seeing all those different questions, because we don't know exactly which questions they're going to ask because it randomizes. All right. So again, there's a lot of other reasons. I won't go too much deeper into that right now, but just know that you really should take all the quizzes and exams within our course over and over and over again. All right, so let's go ahead and go to the next slide, which is going to be related, and I'm going to probably refer right back to this. So studying the practice questions alone isn't enough. So yes, we want you to take all of the quizzes and exams multiple times, as many times as you can, as many times as you want, as many times as you need. But just doing that alone is not going to be enough. And here's what I mean by that. And as you can see on the page here, it says learn the concepts. The reason that you want to learn the material and the content, learn the concepts of everything, is you don't know exactly what questions are going to ask. All right, they randomize from hundreds of questions, so they might pull this question that you may have never seen. Even if you went through a practice exam, a practice quiz, 100 times, you might see a question. So if you learn the concepts, if you understand what they're talking about, it's going to be much easier for you to answer that question. All right. So it's not just memorizing, that's important, but it's learning the concepts. All right. As you go through the reading material, the reading content, you'll understand what I'm talking about. You'll start to recognize concepts. All right. So again, I'm not going to go too much deeper into that. It's kind of self-explanatory, but if you have any questions about that, again, go to our website, and go to the contact button and go ahead and hit us up, and we'll be glad to help you, help answer any questions or help you out. All right. So another piece of advice is don't stick to one study area when you're studying for your license exam. And the philosophy behind that reasoning is, if as an example, say you're sitting there and you're studying in one place all the time, over and over and over again. All right. Your brain is going to get used to learning in that one spot. All right. You're comfortable there, you're learning, you're doing your thing. And then you go to take your license exam, and now all of a sudden you're in a different location, you're in a different place, and your brain is going to kind of go into stress mode. Whether you know it or not, your brain's going to think, all right, this is different. I don't know if I can recall the same information. Most of us can, but it's a philosophy thing. So if you can, try to study in different places so that your brain, your psyche, gets used to being in a different place and retaining information, and you're able to deliver on those exams, those practice exams, or practice quizzes. Because again, when you go to take your exam, your brain is now in a different location. But if you have trained your brain to be in a different location when you study and retain the information, it will help, believe it or not. It's a psychology thing, but it does work. All right, so that's pretty much it on that. I'm not a psychologist, so I'm not going to go too much further on that. Make sure that wherever you're studying, that you organize your study area. All right. Make sure it's clean and organized, because that will also remove some distraction. You don't want those distractions. So if you're in a cluttered location, if you're in a cluttered area, it's just going to be a little distracting. So just try to be in an organized area. Also, removing all distractions is not just organizing your study area, but it's also, if you're easily distracted, which I am, by pets, by people, by music, by sounds, by my phone, which is to my left, which is actually distracting me right now, you want to go ahead and try to remove as many distractions as possible. All right. If it's possible. Sometimes it's not. I've had times where I've had to just go out and sit in my car and study, because it was just, people were in the house, TV was on, I could hear it was distracting. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But if you can, try to remove all the distractions. Divide your studying into smaller kind of sessions, if you will. Do 20, 30 minutes at a time, take a break. Because what I have found and what I have heard from people is that if you study for too long, if you're studying for an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, it starts to become information overload. All right. So just kind of take little chunks at a time, 20 minutes, take a break, 30 minutes, take a break. All right. So the whole point of that is just don't overload yourself in a very short amount of time. Don't study for 2 hours. Don't try to get through the entire course in 2 hours. All right, because that's not going to do you any good. It's a lot of information. There's a lot to read. There's a lot of quizzes. So just give yourself some time. Also, don't try to cram, 1 to 2 days before your exam is scheduled, because studies have shown that cramming doesn't work. It might work for a few people. I don't know. It doesn't work for me. I don't like cramming because it's too stressful. I don't retain as much. Give yourself some time. If your exam, your state exam, is already scheduled, some people do schedule it ahead of time, and then they decide, I'm just going to study a couple of days before the exam. If that works for you, that's fine, but it doesn't work for most people. It can be a little dangerous. So just be careful with that. Try to give yourself as much time as possible. All right, so this is kind of my personal way of note taking. So let me preface this with the fact that within our course, every chapter we provide you in the course with chapter notes. All right, these are PDF files that you can download and you can read while you're offline. You can print them or just save them on your computer. You don't have to be online or anything. Those are available to you. But even with that, even if you're not a note taker, which some people are not, I would advise that you take notes. All right. So let me give you a scenario on that. I used to be a really big note taker. I would write down everything. All right. So everything that was said, everything I read, I'm going to write it down. But what I learned over the years is that I wouldn't always go back to read it or reference it. Right? I knew I was taking good notes, and I know I should have been, but I didn't go back and reference it. So why am I taking all these notes? So for a long time, when I was studying, I stopped taking notes. I realized that I wasn't retaining as well. So I went back to taking notes. And what I learned is that I'm not taking notes to reference what I heard or what I read or what I learned. It actually just helped me memorize. So just the act of writing down things that I'm reading that I want to remember, I write it down. And it makes it stick in my brain. Okay. Everybody has different learning styles. Everybody takes notes differently. Some people don't take notes, and that's fine. And there's no right or wrong when it comes to taking notes. But I'm saying for me, if you don't know how to take notes, if you're not a note taker, I would suggest just take notes. Whatever pops in your brain as you're reading something, hey, write it down. Because what'll happen, it'll stick in your brain. It'll help you retain that a little bit better. All right. Even if you never go back and look at them again, that's fine. All right. So that's just kind of my take. And I've talked about this with other people, and they seem to agree a little bit that, yeah, that does work. Again, everybody's different. So I won't beat this down anymore on that subject. So at this point, what I'd like to do is go to the website. I want to show you one of the pages that inspired me to make this video. It's a page on our website, and I'm going to show you some other resources on our website as well. So let me go ahead and click out of this, and let's go to the website now. All right. So I'm sorry, I'm scrolling way too quick. My apologies. So go to the website, and there's a bunch of stuff to read here about who we are, what our courses are about. And you can go up here in this area right here, life, and that's the courses. There's contact us. If you're a student, then you can go over here and sign in. So let me go right to the page that kind of inspired me to make this video. And it's at the bottom. It's in the footer. It's right here. It's called Study Habits. All right. So if we go ahead and click on that page. So, how to pass the life insurance exam? I mean, it's true for the life and health insurance exam, really almost kind of any insurance exam. So, a lot of what I just went through is on this page. There's a little bit more detail about it on the page. In the, I think the next video that I'm going to make, I'm going to get into, what the actual insurance license exam is, what it's like, what to expect, not just from the exam, but, showing up at the exam provider office. So that way that takes kind of the guesswork out of that, some of the fear of the unknown from that. So that's going to be in the next video after this one. So again, this is the stuff I just covered. So if you want to, you can watch the video again if you'd like, or you can just go to our website and actually read the stuff on here. I don't know why this went back. So let's go to the bottom. There's one more thing I wanted to show you, and then we're going to go ahead and end this video. So there's other related articles in here, as you can see. A lot more information, some more advice if you need it. So you just come to the bottom of this particular page. A lot of these pages are going to have all the same links at the bottom, so that way you can kind of navigate through and find some more helpful information if you need it. All right, so again, I appreciate you watching this. There's going to be another video about the kind of day in the life of going to take your license exam. In the meantime, if you have any questions, come to our website and click on the contact us, which is up here. Also, you can comment below, and we're going to try to get back to you as soon as possible. All right, so thank you very much and have a wonderful day.